Greetings, everyone. Welcome to our series of ICE that we always inform, communicate, and educate. This is our first series of 2019. Last month or last week, we got into a little snag with power outages in Puerto Rico. But those of you who obviously watch events and live programs and TV shows and so forth, you saw, for example, Jimmy Fallon came to Puerto Rico and showed that how wonderful this place can be for open for business. And we are right now broadcasting live, myself from a digital virtual studio with my colleague, Mr. Vijay from Kuala Lumpur, Maddie from Bucharest, and Carlos Vaseo, my colleague from New York City. The purpose of this presentation this time is to talk about our NETSTAIRS strategy for the 2020 and where we are going, and then obviously share some of the visuals that we have built already into this digital media room with you, so you can see the capabilities, the features, the usage, and at the same time, we are broadcasting that live through Facebook while Maddie is recording it in a local. So one of the advantages of this capability is for interactive broadcast, collaboration, and communication, which we refer to as IBCC. We've built this kind of platforms that, along with the series of introduction that we are going to make, including some of our new partners in some other geo IPs, these are going to become part of our excitement that we are going to be sharing, along with releases on new cutting-edge technologies that we feel that is going to profoundly impact the market, especially in the real-time communications. One of the things that I want to share with you, going with the next slide, slide number 2, so is a product overview, and this product overview objective is really just to give you some visual and understanding of where we are thinking and how we are going. So slide number 3 is really coming to a Pixel 2020. What is it? What are we talking about? One of the changes that is happening to the marketplace is WebRTC 2.0 now is coming to the marketplace. There are groups such as Microsoft who have decided to join the WebRTC technologies, and they call it ORTC. There are different initiatives going on around the globe by different countries. And at the same time, they are building this bridge where collaboration, communications can become a way of using internet that we can obviously do what we are saying to do. One of our advantages has been we've been ahead of the curve because we've been visionary. We've always worked on the curve, and our technology allows companies to adopt and build a leapfrog. Our vision virtually is that everything should be real time, like we are doing right now. So in real-time communications, many things can be addressed. Trust factors, such as visual, face-to-face meetings, blockchain integrations, Internet of Everything, and all of these variables that you all hear about it, including inclusion of AI. These are all possible into building into Pixel series. But Pixel, because of the encoding methodology and video formats and compression algorithms for video, is transforming. And as we are moving into 5G and moving into 4K platforms and so forth, one of the challenges is managing these packets of data. The packets of data, obviously, is the way that we are right now doing with you, sending different videos from different points of countries, connecting it to a presentation, and sharing that data with you in real time. So Pixel second generation, the codec is going to be transforming by companies such as Microsoft, such as Google, and other players in the industry, from VP8 into VP9. And VP9 becomes the successor of VP8, just like we went through a transition where we had Flash built into a lot of our browsers automatically, and then they suspended it and then moved into the new codec. So as WebRTC 2.0 and along with the Consumer Electronics Show and integration is coming together, now WebRTC is getting transformation into 3 set of languages. These languages are what you call HTML5, example of what you see in here. Then the other example is what we call compiled version, where you have to use compilers, and then you can build mobile apps, native apps, and do different integration processes. And then the third element is that some of our WebRTC consultants and partners that we have worked around the globe with and we continue working with, they're also introducing us to what they call WASM, W-A-S-M, which basically allows using WebRTC with the C#, C++, C++ coding, which what we call really executable codes, okay, or the lowest level that you can write at the machine level without getting into binary and hexa. So in that kind of a setting right now, WebRTC really becomes a tool and a language that you have to understand at what layer a company wants to use it for. Is it just for a video conferencing and video casting, or are they going to build their entire corporate customer service, collaboration, CRM, and all of these variables into one and build it as, just to think of it like a massive PBX that it can accommodate their corporate, their security, accommodation, file transfers, screencasting, recordings, and everything else. So with that in mind, what we decided to do is really take you to a little roadmap of what we are talking about. And Pixel, that right now you are experiencing, is our second generation of video meeting experience that is made for security, no download, no install, no app, and privacy. This is really ideal for integrations, which we have plenty of pictures, videos, case uses, and so forth that we can share. And it's online on pages such as Facebook, YouTube, and so forth. It really brings a complete experience into real time, just like you see, without any kind of download. Download has always been one of our obstacles that we feel as IT guys that our clients, our corporate, our customers do not want to do this. Unlike programs that they use like for video conferencing like Zoom or Fuse or other programs like GoToMeeting and so forth, they are not trying to transform themselves into the same policy for the same security reason. It employs the technology in Pixel with multi-channel video calls in a form targeted for the enterprise. And the new meeting experience includes a new visual design that you see in here, but these are all customizable based on your preferences between certain frameworks that now is available on PC, Mac, Linux, and Android devices, among other several features. Next slide, number 4. This is an example of a digital media room that we normally meet with our managing directors and partners and discuss about different subjects, as you have seen. Slide number 5, it talks about a little bit of a history of why we came to Pixel, or we are moving to Pixel 2020, because it's going to become the third generation of our product development. We currently started back in 2012, moving away from Flash and getting more into HTML5 and WebRTC. And in 2015, when we originally introduced the classic CTV, click-to-video, then we decided to use all of our learning that we had from Pixel CTV, which was a stable video conferencing with the digital media room meetings, fully customized rooms that had worked with HTML5 user experiences. And we also looked at it from the digital media rooms and mobile subscribers, the use, utilizations, benefits, and mobility, and focused mostly on the desktop services because most of the things were workspace oriented. Pixel 2020 tilted that and more moved toward innovative conferencing platform for corporate enterprises and ecosystems, and support the different video codec from low bit rate to a high bit rates, allow up to 4K, 8K, 16K pass-through integrations. And Pixel CTV became with more features, especially on the memory management. And it became more mobile friendly. So our colleagues can simply use that through just a click with an invitation. And it is really a highly diverse HTML5 platform that you can integrate into job chain, blockchain, and various provisioning systems. So we're gonna go to the next slide, 6, and talk about a little bit of an intuitive user interfaces. This user interfaces was extremely important to us because we wanted the users to have the best intuitive experience. So we had spent over close to 19 years of our corporate history working for different brands, clients in different parts of the world. And we took all of those talents and information and common culmination, along with some of the colleagues that we had in advertising agencies and Madison Avenue, and we built our user interfaces to be very simple, intuitive, and allow users to follow their instinctual experience. So it's lightweight, it's fast user interfaces that you see in here. And with a click, you can tab into many devices and share a desktop, window browser, and set up one of these that you're experiencing right now. So I can move simply my mouse pictures in here and obviously choose different features, such as chat, file transfer, and so forth, but that is beyond the conversation today. Slide number 7, improved media quality. That was extremely important to us because one of the things we always pride ourselves is to give the most seamless delivery without any kind of a overhead or add-on or plugins or things like that to our users. So we really worked into more efficient ways, and we worked with many WebRTC partners along with this, along with Google itself, and along with some of the other strategic partners that we work in the industry. Rather than competing with them, we decided to collaborate, so therefore we can make these opportunities better, not only for our users, but also for our experiences, because now when we talk to our customers, we try to understand their needs. It's not about us, it's about them. So subsequently, if you are looking at HTML5 integration versus writing low code, where we can turn on or trigger a signal, the assembly language of a signal of a device such as IOE for a video chat, then these kind of provisions have to be defined by what we refer to as VMGO, vision, mission, goals, and objectives. And once those are defined, then we accommodate a service called briefing, timeline, and a budget. Therefore, the clients of ours exactly know what their expectation, what the deliverable, what the timelines would be, and then those will be handed over to project managers that they manage those on a timely fashion, and we deliver the results. So video and the codec is extremely important to us because that's what we really live for, and we do. Everything else, it's a subset of what we do. So the video is our holy grail, if you want to look at it that way. Slide number 8. Real-time experience in a group video call is extremely valuable, just like you see in here. Okay, we have 4 corners of the earth connected together. In the present way right now we are allowing is you can set up your rooms where you can have up to 8 participants, 1 moderator, and 7 guests. And you can broadcast up to 50 participants by changing the mode of the room. And that is relatively simple. You just simply come to a location here and you choose your options from there, and then you set up certain options in here, such as general or advanced. And then when you can come here and say video broadcasting, it changes your setting and allows you to accommodate that. So we now go to the slide number 9, where live stream becomes pivotal into our business model, because we do a lot of broadcasting for our clientele. Now, they either use, like we do, YouTube or Facebook in cases like this for broadcasting purposes, or you connect it for a content where rights management comes, such as Akamai, CDN, or Limelight, or other CDNs that we have already integrated our services into. So one of our advantages is that when you decide to use our digital media room, you don't have to worry about what kind of players do you support. We have implemented over 105 different standard players in here with different bit rates, codecs, variables that intelligently behind the scene runs and accommodates the kind of streaming that it needs to be done based on the point of presence of that location and the bandwidth that we get. So remember, we are confined always to the bandwidth as a rule. Slide number 10, meeting in context. This was extremely important for our clientele because as we are talking, every clientele that we work with, although real-time communication becomes part of their requirements, but their broadcasting, their content is what makes them so different. So rather than locking down the customers or the clients, we give them the possibility of customizing their rooms, accommodating different services, and then mixing live sessions with virtual guests, building collaboration, communication, share the content through videos such as YouTube and Vimeo, and get active participants. So this kind of activities becomes part of today's marketing process. At the same time, receiving send and chat messages through the guests in here are crucial, but we also advise you to manage it intelligently, because a host can only pay attention, like myself, to the content, to the broadcaster, to the panelists, to the guests, while we are trying to share content with you. So normally try to set up a little session, like a Q&A session, and go over those questions, either in advance that you've collected, or you simply share that content through several ways that we can share with you later on, how even you can do that, such as using live chats inside these rooms. Slide 12 is simple URL to join. We really didn't want to complicate the whole process, because I myself, everybody makes an invitation to me, and when they send an invitation to me, I gotta download their app. And I really don't like that, because A, we are a very security-minded organization, and two, at the same time, we violate our own internal administration firewall and some of the policies that my IT group generally does not allow me to do that. So we have to always work with the exception. We don't want that. We want to be able to simply just send the URL to join. So we build that you can do video, audio, and text. And then if you need to add other variables, then you can obviously go into what we call optional from standard, and then move into add-ons. So this kind of services can accommodate to slide number 13. Screencasting, like we are doing right now, and same screencasting that right now we are using on Facebook, so you can see the similarities but the differences. This screencasting service in 2019 will become a service of its own, that a user can subscribe as part of our pixel lines, and it will be supporting different VPA, VP9, 1080, 4K, and then you'll be able to do just screen without audio, screen with microphone, with speakers, with microphone and speakers, with camera and camera only. And all of these capabilities now gives you a shared link. You can send that shared link to your constituents through messaging, through WhatsApp, through Messenger, through all of these means that it's available, and be able to invite and get everybody attending to the sessions and share an event, a party, content, so forth. So those becomes again part of the process. Slide number 14. We currently, for screen recording, partner with a company, and there are two software we support. One is a downloadable version, free. It's called iScreen, screencasting, and the other one is called Screencastify. We have tested these programs. We feel confident to recommend it to our clientele so they can use it, and then it connects to your YouTube account and to your Google Drive, whereby when you record the session, it automatically uploads it, catalogs it, and you can set privacy or public domain capability and share that with your constituents. So always think of your creative way that you can use this kind of facilities, not to repeat yourself, but to create an archive library that you can create your own on demand. So if somebody wants to get educated, they can always come back to that sort of content and make yourself more productive on that side of the equation. Next slide. Get started. This was really simple for us because we wanted everybody to share a link, so you can see in here that you can share it with the little page in here, with the Twitter, LinkedIn, G+, and send an invitation. But one of our advantages is that you can set up several rooms. You are not confined to one room. Whether you're a standalone user or you are a corporate enterprise and you need to set up different entities, different departments, and so forth, all of these things are accommodated. Because one of the things that we are doing right now all the time, we are taking a client that is subject or topic related. For example, when we are talking to somebody about virtual reality, it has nothing to do with the English lab. So subsequently, when we want to talk about English as a second language, then we enter there. The teachers are going to be there, and the conversation, curriculums, and all of these variables are there, where virtual reality can give us that experience in different modes. So these variables are extremely important, again, into our 2020 strategy that we built. Slide 17. Start or join a video meeting is really simple. You can simply have a library of your own, or when somebody sends you a URL link, you simply click on it, you introduce yourself by just typing your name, and you allow your camera to become active, and that becomes the process. So there is really 1, 2, 3 steps. Working inside of a digital media room, like you see in here right now, it's very simple. Number 18. Next is going to its management. Number 19, where we are in 20 talking about some of our features that we can accommodate inside these rooms. Slide 20 right now shows you that as a moderator, you have control of certain features such as general, accessibility, and customization. Here is where you can change your header, your background, your sidebars, add advanced features. If you agree to become a beta user with us, then you activate this feature, and we send you new releases in here that you can test, and this becomes part of the process. Slide 21. One of the things on the admin on a Diamond account, our clients have the power to adjust their video settings, because let's say you're talking to some countries where power and bandwidth still on 3Gs, for instance. Then you need to lower your bit rates and so forth. So you can accommodate that kind of settings. But there are places that, like in Europe or parts of the United States, that you can all of a sudden have 150 gigs. Then you want to set it up at 1024 and so forth. So these kind of capabilities, we've already built that you have the power to control your rooms based on different settings again. Next slide, 22. Screencasting is something that is extremely valuable. As you can see, we are right now doing a digital media room screencasting to you. Adaptation of these WebRTC services, including Facebook and other program providers such as Skype and so forth, validates that this is the way that you can do view only. So when you bring the participants inside the room, you can accommodate that kind of services and then proceed accordingly. Slide 23. It's hardware integration. Sometimes a lot of our clients, they want to talk about hardware. We want to tell you a few things about the hardware because we try to make our technology hardware agnostic, so it can bring and work with your different devices. So Pixel hardware series is really designed for B2B2C type of model or B2B2B2C. But the ultimate consumers receive different devices. For example, Viper Corporation has retained NETSTAIRS to build the 4G smartwatch. So we are in the process of developing a release that is going to have the smartwatch, is going to have the set-top box that you can watch video quality and engage right from your TV and be connected to your TV through your smartphone. So this kind of services now is going to be offered to the OTT market as interactive OTT. Slide number 25. One of the boxes that we tested out was ASUS Chromebox. For those of you who are interested, through Viper Corporation, you can talk to them and they can work with you based on private label or buying or recommending distributions that you can purchase these boxes. These are 4K boxes right now, so it accommodates faster growth, greater pipe, and we have also tested ASUS Stick, and so we can set up what we call starter kit. So if somebody wants to start like English as a second language, to join the family to learn in front of a TV with the teacher, these tools becomes invaluable. Slide 26. Our goal has always been to help you, just like what we are doing, to let you stay focused automatically. Machine learning right now is one of our philosophies behind the scene. But this is not intruding your privacy. Our machine learning really is working on building itself as ICDN, Interactive Content Delivery Network. We are working on that with different topologies, which we will explain in the next series of our communications. But at the same time, just letting you know that different topologies require different settings, and different settings require different containers, that it allows you to stay focused automatically with one click. And that is the objective. Slide 27, we have a little appendix in here that just sharing this with you, that if you're going to have some bandwidth requirements and so forth, my suggestion is to look at some of these charts publicly available. 2 megabits is minimum requirement that we require. And then if you go into two-person calls, they talk about 3.2, 2.6. And then if you go to group video call, then you go into a higher bit rates, and depending on your video code, they can bandwidth. So that is one of the reasons that you have to be mindful about the colleagues as peer that they're coming from their ISP. So if they have services available, then you can accommodate that kind of service, or you can adjust these rooms on that settings. Slide number 29. One of the things that we talk about right now is for the people to understand, especially at the IT department, because we work with a lot of enterprises and companies, is firewall. We normally don't require anything, but if they have built protocols for their firewall settings, then a UDP connection on a port 3478, on a TCP connection for port 8888, and a TCP connection for the Pixel on port 443 for SSL must be allowed. These are giving us the capability to take our STUN, our RTP and ICE and RTCP packets of data and encrypt it into a secured RTP and send it out without violating the privacy and communications. Slide number 30, obviously, is a little thank you note for listening to our presentation. As we are forging ahead toward 2019, we're going to introduce a series of pixel lines. And these pixel lines are going to be based on different chassis, different topologies, different engineerings. And we're going to share that with you. And then you can choose which one is most suitable for you. And in short, I want to thank you all for attending our webinar. And thank you for listening to our presentation. And we'll see you next week at the same time. Cheers for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.